second rank. And thank you all for coming. We do have a busy evening tonight. Hope it's enjoyable. This is the 36th candidate forum that the City of Duncanville and the Duncanville Independent School District has sponsored, and we alternate hosting this candidates forum each year. So one year the school district will sponsor and host, and next year the city will. That's why we're here at the new school today, and we'd like to thank our superintendent of schools, Dr. Smith, for hosting this year's forum in our brand new Acton Elementary School. Please turn off your electronic devices. The candidates drew for their order earlier this evening. They will alternate the order of questions and opening and closing statements. Each candidate will have a 3-minute opening statement. Each candidate will answer 3 questions with a 1-minute response to each question. We have 2 timekeepers, and they will be monitoring the times for each one of these sections. The first candidate to answer will have an option for a 30-second rebuttal if they choose to do so. So the first candidate will draw a question out of the bucket, give it to me, and I'll read it, and they will answer the question from the podium. When they're through with their response, the other candidate will answer in the same time frame. Since the first candidate doesn't really know what his opponent may say, we're going to offer the first candidate to speak a 30-second rebuttal if they choose to. And so whoever goes first, as we progress to the end, the last person in line will get to do the closing statement first. Now the building will be open an additional 30 minutes after the conclusion of this event for some visitation and get to know people and meet the candidates if you haven't already. In addition, videos for each of these races will be loaded on the Chamber website. Looking for the first week, this is going to be Duncanville Chamber org and is linked to the city's website. Jacqueline Culton. Would you please come to the stage? Mr. Kennedy drew first place for the opening. So, Tom, if you will, draw a question and hand it to me and I'll read it.
Opening statement first. Opening statement, yeah. No question. Opening statement first.
Oh, I'm opening, yes. And that's actually in my notes.
We can just go right to the questions for it, right?
Opening statement and comments, 3 minutes on that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to briefly tell you about me and then give you 3 good reasons to vote to elect me to place 1 on the Duncanville ISD School Board. I was born in Texas and raised and educated in Arkansas. I have a BS degree with a major in biology. I moved to Duncanville in 1988 with my wife Sherry. We started our business. I attend First United Methodist Church and I'm an active member of the Duncanville Rotary Club. We have 3 children and Sherry and I have been married for 43 years. The 3 good reasons to re-elect me are these: experience, knowledge, and dedication. my experience, I have a total of 21 years on the board. I have served for the past 15 years, and I also served from 1991 to 1997. I am a master trustee. I am the only one on our current board. I am the longest serving trustee in modern day history, I've been told. I have worked with a number of superintendents and lots of trustees, and I have learned a lot about education from each one of them. Knowledge. I have over 400 hours of continuing education hours, which means I have attended hundreds of classes related to education in Texas. I spent 1 year earning my Master Trustee certification, attending lectures on leadership, diversity, and Texas education policy. I also visit school districts around the state learning about other good things districts are doing. Dedication. My 21 years of service and my involvement in campus activities proves my dedication to this district and to the students we educate. I volunteer to lead students and I attend many other campus activities. I believe in and support my district. I am a cheerleader every chance I get. I love this district and what we do for children. I believe these 3 reasons should make me your choice for this position. When re-elected, I can hit the ground running with no lost time for learning policy and procedures. I know my responsibility and I know them well. Vote to re-elect me, Tom Kennedy, place 1. We are doing great things for our students here in Duncanville. I'm asking your support to help continue the exciting opportunities we work with. Vote to re-elect Tom Kennedy, place 1. Thank you.
Ms. Culton, your remarks, please.
Good evening. My name is Jacqueline Culton, and I am asking for your vote for the Duncanville School Board, place 1. I would like to thank the City of Duncanville, the Duncanville ISD, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Rotary Club for hosting this very important event. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for attending so that you can make your own decision regarding the best candidates for the job. Just a little about me. I am a Dallas girl. I am a product of the Dallas Public Schools. I graduated summa cum laude. My parents were a coach and a nurse, and they instilled in me the value of a good education, doing your homework, and also our responsibility to give back to others. And so I have carried that throughout my life. I am a graduate of Prairie View University with a degree in engineering. I am a registered professional engineer within the state of Texas. I am a 34-year city administrator, having fulfilled the positions of engineer, program manager, and I am currently the assistant director with the City of Duncanville. I'm most proud of my son. I have an only child son. He is a graduate of one of the premier academies within the United States, the Merchant Marine Academy, and he has a successful career in business. I'm very proud of that. I have an interest in children, having worked in children and youth ministry for a number of years. I'm also a former board of trustee members with my church. So I understand board of trustees and duties related to the board. But most of all, I care about each and every student. I want for each and every student to receive a quality education. The district, and what I would like to do is just work with the superintendent, the school board, parents, teachers, administrators to improve the rating of the district. We're currently a C. We have some campuses that are rated need improvement. And personally, based upon my background, I would like to work to improve that so that we can ensure productive lives for all the students in the district. Thank you.
Mr. Kennedy drew this question. I'll read it, and if I have a chance to answer it, I'll reread it for you. The question is, in between monthly board meetings, There's a lot of information provided to school board members. What will you do to prepare for board meetings and stay current on board agenda items?
Well, that's certainly true. We get sometimes big books, sometimes not so big books. But, you know, we have the opportunity to meet with the superintendent and if we need to learn what's going on in the district. You know, I study a lot. I look at a lot of things from the state, from the Texas Association of School Boards to see what the current activities are going on. I think I'm always well prepared for meetings, and I know the right questions to ask, and I know how to interact with not only the superintendent, but his executive leadership team to try to make meetings as meaningful as they can be. It's not a lot of hard work. If you like to read, there is a lot of reading involved. I don't have a problem with that. I've managed to get through the book normally before the meeting happens, unless it's real thick, and then we all struggle. But we only get the book about 3 days before the meeting, so we have to put in a little overtime to get that done. So, you know, it's sometimes a chore, sometimes a challenge, but I've always been able to accomplish it. Like I said, I've always been able to participate and communicate in the meetings about the subjects that we're discussing.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Ms. Culton, would you like me to reread the question? In between monthly board meetings, there is a lot of information provided to school board members. What will you do to prepare for board meetings and stay current on board agenda items?
Okay, first of all, I would read the board agenda package front to back, making sure that I understand what all the issues are and the proposals that are included in it. In addition, if I had any questions regarding any of the materials in the book, I would consult with the superintendent so that I could have my answers provided, or answers provided to the questions that I have, so that I can be an informed board member and make decisions based on analytics and just make good quality decisions. I think we have to do our homework. We have a responsibility to do that and to be well versed in the information in the book. And also, I probably, depending upon what the issue was, I would want to check other resources to make sure that I would be able to make an informed decision.
Thank you, Ms. Culton. Mr. Kennedy, you choose to have a vote. Thank you both. Ms. Culton, will you please draw question number 2? The question is, from your perspective, what would be your top priority for the Duncanville ISD? Top priority.
My top priority for the Duncanville ISD would be to ensure that each and every child receives a quality education. In light of the rating of the district, my top priority would be to move that from a C to a B. And working with the superintendent and the school administrators in order to do that. That would, bottom line, be my top priority.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kennedy, from your perspective, what would be your top priority for Duncanville Independent School District?
Well, certainly the rating from the state was not what we wanted, and not what we expected, and it's not what we would expect in the future. And we have plans in place to make sure that doesn't happen. But I have to just advise you, that's just a snapshot of one day of what goes on in our school district. And to me, it's not a very meaningful test. We know for a fact that test is about 2 grade levels higher than what it should be. But my top priority for this district is, again, not similar to hers, to make sure all of our kids get a great education. We're doing a lot of great things in this district now to make sure that our kids get that. But we have one big issue, and that's overcrowding at the high school. And we have plans, or talking about plans in place to do something about that and creating a fine arts academy and another type of school for those kids to be able take some kids out of that building, which will relieve the overcrowding in that building. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Ms. Culton, would you like to offer?
Regarding the ratings, there has been a trend of declining scores. So it is an ongoing trend that would need to be addressed. And I too believe that the high school has too many students, and that would be another issue that I would like to see addressed as well.
Thank you, Ms. Culton. Mr. Kennedy, would you draw the third question? The third question is, please name 2 things that you have done recently to advocate for public schools.
So just recently, I went to Austin with our youth and government group, and while there, I tried to see several of our local legislators. Was unable to see them, as it's hard to do that down there. But I have written emails. I've tried to call other of our state officials in regard to property tax, regard to school funding, which I think is a major issue, which can only be resolved by the state. But I work closely with the Texas Association of School Boards because of my master trustee designation, and get a lot of information from different people in that regard to be able to advocate for our children to have better financing, better schools, and to have property tax relief for our citizens.
Thank you. Ms. Culton, would like you to repeat the question. Name 2 things that you have done recently to advocate for public schools.
I was down at the Capitol in March talking to Representative Davis about the state of the schools and the state of the school financing. That's number 1. And then I attended a town hall meeting which she hosted, and that was also my main point of view. Well, I have others, but that was my main objective, to obtain information regarding what was going on in the legislature and what we could expect. So those are the 2 things that I've done recently related to advocating for students in the district.
Thank you. It's your turn to give us some closing remarks, and you'll have a minute after.
Hello, I'm not going to take much of your time, but I'm going to request your vote, and I'm going to ask that you ask your friends to vote for me. I care about students. I'm willing to put in the hard work. Also, I have a background. I have 34 years of administrative experience. I understand budgets. I understand working with folks at all levels of an organization. I understand education and youth and parents. So I'm just requesting your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
First, I want to thank the Chamber, the Rotary Club, and Acton Elementary School for hosting this event. The school is just one of the 2 new schools that we just recently built with bond money that was approved by you, the citizens. The last thing I want to do is remember that I had the experience, knowledge, and dedication to serve our 13,000 students, 1,700 plus employees, and our patrons to be an effective trustee. I'm asking you to vote to re-elect me, Tom Kennedy, to place 1 on the Duncanville ISD Board of Trustees. Thank you.
We have 3 candidates for this office: Ms. Johnette Veracruz, Ms. Dorothy Wolverton, and Mr. Alexander Bomgardner. Would you please come to the stage? Mrs. Veracruz drew number 1, and so she has her opening remarks for 3 minutes. Please.
Good evening. I want to thank the Duncanville Chamber and the Rotary Club for hosting this event. My name is Janet Veracruz, and I'm seeking your vote for Duncanville ISD School Board Trustee 3. I have been a resident for Duncanville for 21 years. My 11 years as an educator has taught me many things: classroom management, parent engagement, time management, and collaboration with other departments in my school. I will bring these accolades to the school board as a trustee. Being an educator, I keep 3 things close to me, which have led to my success. In parent-student engagement, 1, I seek a solution to best meet the need of the student. Number 2, clear communication, always in the front. And number 3, collaboration, meaning our goal is working with the student and the process, and not the winning of a disagreement. As a school board trustee, I seek to help make an impact. These items are close to my heart, and I want to share them with you. Community engagement, to engage parents at every level and opportunity. Parent involvement, to attend school functions and make sure parents know that I am available to them and the teachers as well. Communication to the parents and citizens, to use current methods such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Duncanville ISD website. We do all of those things, but I found out that we need to also have that translated over into Spanish because our population is 50% of Hispanic in the community. Community partnerships, Lions Club, Inspire Program, Rotary Club, and Duncanville Education Foundation are all important for us to bridge together. School budget, to press for a balanced budget, of course, and to ensure that we have adequate funding for our programs. Continuing education, in addition to attending all required training, I seek to learn as much as I can and apply it. And of course, the last piece I have is to work with the superintendent and the team, the senior leadership team, to help implement our district's vision, writing success stories with one student at a time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everybody. How are you? I'd like to thank the Duncanville Chamber of Commerce and the Rotary Club for this opportunity tonight. My name is Dorothy Wolverton, and I am a candidate for Place 3 for Duncanville School Trustee. I have 14 years of experience on the Duncanville School Board from 2000 to 2014, almost as many hours as Tom, not quite as many, but of course he's older than I am. School board training hours through TASB, the Texas Association of School Boards. My husband Tommy and I own a heating and air conditioning company, and we have 7 children who have graduated from Duncanville High School, 1 grandson who has graduated. We have 2 grandchildren that are at Bird, and 3 more coming up. I have experience at teaching, real estate, community volunteering. I have been past chairman of the board for the Chamber of Commerce, past chairman of the Duncanville Community Lions Club, and I've been on various boards for the city. And Ken Weaver was telling me I only have 2 minutes left, so I barely have enough time to just waste time with that. I was Mother Nature for 16 years, teaching children about recycling, litter prevention, and beautification of our school district and our city. I believe that's what makes me the best candidate for Place 3 as a school trustee. I think we need to be focused on, with the changing technology, accelerating improvements to have the best available education to ensure effective use of the resources provided by the taxpayer. Taking that into consideration, there are future issues that need to be addressed. Rising inflationary costs, retaining our excellent teachers, decreasing the dropout rate, capital improvements to ensure sound facilities, a safe environment, of course, for our children, and the state funding issue, and the blossoming of our elementary population. The school funding issue is a big one for me because I've seen how hard the school district has worked to do what the state has asked. First, DISD has done a formal capital improvement program. We've done a cost reduction program involving water and energy, which I was a big part of. We did a flexible bond program. We've got an academic strategic plan. We've got a community relations plan. We've got a financial stability Stability Plan. We've got a title oversight of DISD fiscal and administrative operations. And we have set referendums addressing the state funding issues. On top of that, we still have a financial integrity system of superior score. And even that, we still have one of the lowest rates of allotment per student. We need to come up with an immediate solution so we can pay our teachers more, handle these at-risk kids, and continue the stress that is Duncanville.
Mr. Bomgardner, your opening remarks, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Alexander Bomgardner, and I am a candidate for the Duncanville ISD Board of Trustees, Place 3. I can see some of y'all are thinking, how old is this guy? Am I right? I'm 19 years old. Mr. Kennedy has actually been serving on the Board of Trustees longer than I've been alive. It's not to say I don't have experience. I've been part of North Lake College's student government for the last 3 years, and I served as the state president of student government. I served over 700,000 community college students in that capacity, and now I would love the opportunity to serve the 13,000 students of Duncanville. I've been endorsed by the Stonewall Democrats of Dallas, as well as by Run for Something, which is a national organization that endorses the best and brightest under 40-year-old candidates. The big things that I'm focusing on are improving the relationship between the Board of Trustees and the community, improving the technology both inside and outside the classroom, reducing wasteful administrative spending and put it back towards teacher and instructional spending, and taking serious action on bullying, because our parents feel like the Board of Trustees isn't really doing anything about it. These are the big things that I want to take on as a Board of Trustee member, along with a long list of other things that, if I were allowed to, I'd stand up for an hour and talk about. I am here to ask for you to give Alexander Bomgardner your vote for Duncanville ISD Board of Trustees, Place 3. Thank you.
Veracruz, please draw question 1. The first question for the candidates for Place 3. Social media has become the manner in which people communicate and share information. As a school board member, how will you handle complaints and information placed on blogs, Facebook, Snapchat, and other social media tools?
Dealing with this, with the vein of media, it is hard to embrace the fact that there is no way to really grab hold of the one thing that we could hurt one another with. But with that in mind, I would like to assess that with the board members and achieve a policy to see how we can better handle that. There are about 13,000 students, and how much media is out there to put out on a daily basis. It is out of control and it is epidemic. So with that said, I would further like to collaborate and come up and assimilate a meeting to see what ideas we could have to get a hold of that.
Thank you.
Could you repeat that question?
Absolutely. Social media has become the manner in which people communicate and share information. As a school board member, how will you handle complaints and information placed on blogs, Facebook, Snapchat, and other social media tools?
Okay. Well, there are rules and regulations as far as school board trustees. The school board, as an individual school board member, does not represent the whole board. So usually the president of the board responding to complaints or anything concerning social media. And because you can't just everyone's individual opinion, because everybody has one, believe me, including the superintendent when you all get together. So you usually have a unit together as a compromise, a blog that might come out that will say what you all feel and that you'll address the issue and how to handle that. But as an individual school trustee, you are not allowed to actually do that.
Thank you. Mr. Bunker.
As one of the folks who's grown up with social media, I'm well versed with both how to handle the information that I put out, as well as how to react to the information that others put out. As Ms. Wolverton said, an individual trustee doesn't respond to the criticism or the complaints or the concerns alone. So what I will be doing is working with the other 6 Board of Trustee members and the superintendent and sharing my rather unique and youthful insight into how to respond appropriately on social media. The other part of the question is, how do we control or at least attempt to manage what our students are doing online? And the best thing to do with that is to just teach them. That's what a school is all about. So we need to make sure our students know how to handle themselves online in a professional and courteous manner.
Thank you, Mr. Bunker. Now, since we have 3 candidates for this place, and each of you have heard each other, all 3 of you will have an opportunity to call for rebuttal if you choose to. We'll start with Veracruz. Do you wish?
No, we're fine.
I could rebut myself if you don't mind.
Well, thank you all very much. Question 2. Ms. Wolverton, will you come please draw question 2?
Question 3. Question 3.
What?
Just checking to see if this is an easy question. Chair rules are out of order. Okay, this question is number 2. Name 2 things that you've done recently to advocate for our public schools.
Advocate for public schools, things that I have done recently. I wonder how you consider that recently. Okay, well, I voted for and encouraged other people to vote for the tax increase for the money for the school district and all the other things that I mentioned before that I have done in the school district for many things as far as public schools. I feel as a mother and a former teacher and a community advocate that I have done, as well as everybody in this room has advocated for this school district and this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bunker, same question.
So 2 things that I would like to highlight that I've done recently for public schools are working with the community college district and the high schools in the area to really put out the Dallas Promise program. If y'all are familiar with it, it's a program that allows our high school students to graduate, get an associate's, and go on to UNT and get a bachelor's completely free. Completely free. I wish I had that. The other thing that I did was I went down with my student government to Austin, and I advocated for both our public colleges and our public schools, K through 12. The colleges, we need to make sure that our students are prepared to go out into the world and be productive members, and we also wanted to make sure our high schools were getting the funding so that they could send us students that are ready to take on the role of being college students. So, fighting for students in Austin and making sure that our students get quality education for free.
Thank you, sir. Name two things that you've done recently to advocate for public schools.
So the two things that come to mind is the penny swap, which I voted for, and that has brought on tremendous help with assisting with purchasing new buses and having programs at the school, and that has come even to add to our money in on the school district to assist us with future plans. The other thing that comes to mind is the job fair that happened just recently. I promoted and brought in some friends of ours that were looking for positions in the system, and so they were very excited to learn about the branches of learning and possibly landing a job here in the Duncanville School District, especially the STEM Academy, so that was very exciting to know too.
In between monthly meetings, there's a lot of information provided to school board members. What will you do to prepare for board meetings and stay current on board agenda items?
So as a college student, I've taken some of the summer classes that condense an entire semester's worth of classes into 1 month. So the time between the Board of Trustee meeting, I've taken entire college classes. So I feel rather prepared to go into a thick book that Mr. Kennedy was talking about and make sure I understand everything that's going on, and if need be, I can take a final exam on it.
Thank you. Ms. Veracruz. Yes. In between monthly board meetings, there's a lot of information provided to school board members. What will you do to prepare for board meetings and stay current on board agenda items?
So the first thing that comes to my mind is, of course, research. And with the information that has been disseminated out there to us, to take that information, learn about it, to see how we could also be creative and be collaborative as a board, to see if we could be problem solvers and bring up solutions and advocate for things that need to be brought up to be improved. I also would like to think outside the box with the information that we get, like as if we go into the meeting, to also be able to be creative with the answers that we get and responding to assist the superintendent with those things that are on the agenda.
Thank you very much. Are there any rebuttals to be offered? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. In between monthly board meetings, there's a lot of information provided to school board members. What will you do to prepare for board meetings and stay current on board agenda items? Well, I can tell you what I did before. Study. All the time. Tremendous amount of meetings involved between the board meetings, collaborating with the other board members, sometimes for information, opinions, ideas. Also, being a member of the school board, you're also a member of the Texas Association of School Boards. You can call their legal department and get information from other school districts about any questions that you want about how they're dealing with certain problems. And of course, the superintendent is your most valuable tool. You cannot talk to the teachers because the school board's responsibility is only 3 things. 1 is to hire and fire the superintendent. 2, to approve the agenda. And 3, to make policy. That's the only things that you're allowed to do. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Bomgardner, here you have the opportunity to close with your closing statement.
So all of the things that I've talked about tonight have focused around the experience that I've gained fighting for students and student government as a community college student. I want to transfer all that experience and that unique insight to the Board of Trustees. And the only way that I can do that is if I get your vote. So I am here asking again, Alexander Bomgardner for Duncanville ISD Board of Trustees, place 3. Thank you.
Okay. A school trustee's responsibility is to the students of the district and the taxpayer. My goal is fiscal responsibility while enhancing educational excellence and continue to deal with budget restraints and challenges. We will continue to have a safe school environment, safe campuses, improve our fund balance, and continue to develop our partnership with parents. They are working at comparable, the school district right now is working at comparable teachers' salaries and strive to keep lines of communication open to the public. All of these goals require teamwork and experience, I'm sorry to say. We have that team in place with our school board and the superintendent, Dr. Mark Smith. Their efforts have been successful because they all work well together and care about keeping children first. I am asking you again to give me that opportunity to re-serve and hold that position of public trust and be a partner between the school district and you. Thank you.
So in closing, I wish to remind you of my 11 years of an educator. My heart is to serve and bring to the table my experience to seek out solutions, seek out collaborations with a panel of board members, seek to communicate with the superintendent and the community members, not hold on to any personal agendas, but rather seek to make visions become goals that come to life for students in Duncanville. I am Johnette Veracruz, and I am seeking your vote for Duncanville ISD Board Trustee, Place 3. Thank you.
On behalf of the Rotary Club, the Chamber of Commerce, and all of us, we'd like to offer our sincere thank you to all of the school board candidates. We can't do it without you, and thank you for stepping up and running for these offices. All right, we'll move along to city council races. We've got 3 candidates who are going to be offered the opportunity to make a presentation. They do not have opposition or do not have opposition here tonight. So, first I would like to call on our candidate, Mr. Joe Veracruz from District Number 1, and offer you a 5-minute presentation. Please.
Thanks, sir. Can't do 5 minutes. Good evening. I'd like to thank, obviously, the Duncanville Chamber and the Rotary Club for hosting this event. My name is Joe Veracruz, and after serving our country locally, internationally, and serving on the Duncanville School Board, I am now ready to continue to serve as your City of Duncanville District 1 Council member. My wife Jen and I have been married 29 years and have lived in Duncanville for 21 years. We raised 2 children here and now a grandchild. I believe Duncanville has charm, character, and is family-oriented. I believe community leaders should model sound character, be quick to listen, and slow to speak. I have the character and the temperament to effectively represent you and our fellow District 1 neighbors. I want to further engage in our community and keep this a great city in which to raise a family. So what do I bring to the table is a very diverse background. 25 years as a Dallas firefighter lieutenant and paramedic, 25 years in the military as a retired Chief Master Sergeant in the Texas Air National Guard, which led me to many deployments, a few of those which equal up to about 5 years, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan. I'm currently on the Keep Duncanville Beautiful board and have been for 5 years. I've been a member of the Dune Lions Club for 5 years, and currently on the board of directors for the Duncanville Education Foundation. I'm currently the Duncanville School Board Secretary. So this experience has taught me many lessons. One, to collaborate, obviously teamwork, got to compromise, passion, and I love to take ownership whenever I get involved in something. So I really plan to roll up my sleeves, use all these accolades in the implementation of our bond program, helping the city's comprehensive plan, and one big thing for me is I want to get our citizens engaged. So as I stated before, my training in the military and the fire department have taught me many lessons. As I respond to 911 calls as a firefighter paramedic, I process a lot of data. My training teaches me that I must first assess the situation. In other words, what's going on? Secondly, I've got to evaluate my resources, what I've got, and call for resources I don't have that I will need. Make a decision on my actions, and then I act. So as your District 1 City Council member, I pledge to assess the situation, evaluate the resources, or our resources, decide on our action, one vote, one voice, and then act. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Veracruz is running for District number 1. Mr. Monte Anderson is running for District number 3. Give you an opportunity for some remarks.
Howdy. Howdy. Thank you all for coming out tonight. My name is Monte Anderson, and I'm running for City Council District 3 unopposed. So I guess I can say anything I want.
Well, you can.
I live at Main and Center above the Rice Spot, so my company, Options Real Estate, is located in downtown on Davis Street. And I've lived and worked in southern Dallas County all my life. Over the years, our company has improved or built many properties in Duncanville and recruited many more businesses to go with them, such as Main Station, Roma's Italian Food, La Mexicana, Tortilla Factory and Sabor Restaurant, Personalized Communications Call Center, Pet Village, and W&B Service Company, just to name a few. In addition, we've been responsible for places like, in Oak Cliff, like the Texas Theater, the Belmont Hotel, the old fire station down at Bishop Arts, which is now glorious. We also completed all the housing and the office development around Corn Tree Country Club when it was nearly empty. Recently, we have created the DeSoto Marketplace Retail and Restaurant Incubator, which is just up and running. And our latest project is Powder Station in Oak Cliff. It's a collaboration village of about 50 entrepreneurs, some new and some experienced, and hundreds of others over the last 30 years. Duncanville is a city of champions, but it should also be a city of health. You can see queues everywhere around the city in the mornings if you look at all the walkers in Armstrong Park. And right on the edge over here at the Cedar Ridge Preserve, I don't know if you've been out there lately, but it's a huge economic development, visitor development tool for Duncanville that we get for free. And not to mention the other parks like Lakeside Park and then places like Cox Farms, with the locally grown food. So we've got the cues already there. They're already there. Healthy cities attract young and creative people. And you can look around this room tonight and you see we need help. Including myself. I used to be young. I still think I am. But anyway, we need help there, and that's what attracts them. And our strength is already here within our 11.2 square miles. See, I see the tightness of our city, the smallness of our city is a really good thing. It makes us more efficient. We have great infrastructure. We just need to improve what we have. So I have 5 points. These are the things I think that we should be working on, these 5 points here. Alternative and recreational transportation like walkability and bicycling. So, you know, an 8-year-old and an 80-year-old, they need the same thing. To be empowered, they need to be able to walk to a place and safe. Bicycling is a huge, in cities, in the most productive cities in the United States, bicycling is very important. So, and also our schools, our industrial parks, our retail, our residential, it's already very close together. So all we need to do is connect it. This is a sign of a healthy community. Number 2, recycling. Places like Portland and Denver, where recycling is required, and I get to travel all over the country these days, so they have very little trash. When you look outside, outside you see recycling bins, you see hardly any trash. And how many of you been to the landfill lately? And you look at what we're leaving our grandchildren. I mean, construction materials, we just tear down buildings and construction materials and plastic. I mean, straws is one of the worst things in the landfill. And so throughout the country, the places that recycle are more vibrant. So recycling, see, is not only good and the right thing to do, it's a huge thing to make us stick out like a sore thumb. I want to be the top recycling city in the state. This is a sign of a healthy community. Number 3, repurposing old shopping centers and office buildings. For those of you that haven't seen this, we're in a retail apocalypse. And office buildings, this is how big they are now. This is how big your office space needs to be. So things are changing. How do you recycle these buildings? How do you repurpose them? What do you do to create co-working? Fiscal responsibility. This is a sign of a healthy community. Fiscal responsibility. We should, everything that we build, roads, sewer, water, parks, if the numbers don't work, if they can't pay for themselves into perpetuity, then we shouldn't do it. This is a sign of a healthy community. Develop our own and make what we have better. Take what we have and make it better. The outsiders ain't going to come help us. The big developers ain't going to help us. The big corporations, we need to take what we have and we need to make it better. And we become attracted to ourselves and to the inside. The whole world will want to be here. This is a sign of a healthy community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. District 3, candidate for City Council. At this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Mike Miner for some remarks. His opponent is not with us, so you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Mike Miner. I'm running for City Council in District 5. Prior to my retirement 4 years ago, I raised our 2 elementary school-age children after my wife's death from cancer. She was only 39 years of age. I have an older daughter as well. From my wife and children, I learned unconditional love, how to be a referee, cook, how to be a cheerleader, and that listening, respect, and civility solve a lot of problems. Hugs and kisses can solve boo-boos almost every time as well. We spend a lot of time together and are very close. One of them is adopted. Sometimes I forget which one. I was also chairman of the neurosurgery department at the Ohio State University. From that, I learned the art of persuasion and compassion and compromise, and a whole lot about herding cats. Surgeons ask a lot of questions, are stubborn as mules, and are not easily led, but they can be led. I was a captain in the Army, and they assured me that if I re-upped, I would be promoted. Somehow becoming major minor was not a selling point they had imagined. I spent 10 years doing medical missionary work in Latin America. From that, I learned what a problem really is. And we do have problems in this country and this city, but I've always been so proud to be an American because we can solve our problems. That's different than some other places. Since I retired from surgery, I've engaged in our community. I volunteer at my neighborhood elementary school, Fair Meadows. I work there about 3 days a week. teaching math and reading. I'm on the board of the Duncanville Education Foundation. I'm president of the Duncanville Rotary Club, so that's why they disallowed me from sitting where Buddy is. I thank the Rotary Club and the Chamber for putting on the forum, and I'd also like to mention all of our good wishes that go out to the mayor and his recovery from his recent illness. It is vital for you to see and hear the candidates for public office. My opponent has been on the city council for 10 years, but has never attended this forum. You may see me in the grocery store, at Costco, at church, at our library, at one of our schools reading to the children. As a council member, I think I should engage with the city. I will always try to listen to you and be interested in your opinion. I'm currently Vice President of the Property Improvement Program. We will complete our 25th home this month. With the help of the city, we identify homes that need repair, and a large group of volunteers goes to work. We repair and paint homes, cut down and trim trees, replace fences, and walk away knowing we help the neighbor in need. This is done at no expense to the homeowner or the city. Working with all the librarians in the Duncanville ISD, we just completed a program to bring children's book authors to each of the 9 Duncanville elementary schools. Every elementary student in the DISD interacted with an author. The purpose was to encourage reading, and it was really, really successful. Our goal is to have every student at every school interact with an author every year that they are in our school system. Authors encourage reading and writing, which is what we need. You have a binary choice in District 5, my opponent or me. I am engaged with our community. I have leadership experience. I have results from my efforts. I have worked with others, and I work well with them. Leaders lead, seek consensus, evaluate the consequences of their decisions, listen, accept criticism, and engage with you. I've done that and will do that in the future. I see a number of you have these red hats that say I like Mike. I appreciate you wearing them, appreciate your support. No MAGA hats were killed in making these. And I am Mike, and I'm running for
Thank you, Dr. Minor, City Council candidate for District Number 5. 2 candidates are Mr. Patrick Harvey and Mr. Patrick LeBlanc. Would you please come to the stage? Mr. Harvey Drew for place 1 for tonight's opening remarks. Mr. Harvey, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thanks to you all for coming tonight. First of all, I want to thank the Chamber, the Rotary, and all involved with this event. I have 40 years of experience in city financial management and reporting, and 20 years of that experience in developing nationally recognized annual budgets and comprehensive annual financial reports. I'm the only person in this race with that kind of experience. During the 4 years that I was on the council, these 4 years were probably the most creative years in terms of some of the things that Duncanville did. And here they are. Added 2 police officers, added a park ranger in the city planner, Barbecue and Blues Festival. We ended the lawsuit against Monte Anderson. Let that sink in. increased funding for sidewalk repair, the Hill City Bike Trail, kept the Ford's lumber. In Duncanville, we funded playground equipment for Willow Run Park, Lakeside Park, and Harrington Park. All of these things benefited our community as a whole. Unfortunately, our community is divided and disconnected. If you don't believe me, look who showed up and who didn't. But I digress. I have both as a council member and as a good neighbor encouraged and supported initiatives and events which bring us together. I mentioned the Barbecue and Blues Festival a few seconds ago, which I encouraged both as a council member and financially supported as a private citizen, helping to benefit the Lions Club. I participate in the Rotary Flag Program. I am a patron of the Community Theater and contributed to the International Museum of Cultures. I have financially sponsored the Ben Franklin 5K run. Every 3 months, I bring donuts to the residents of Champions Cove. I do these things inspired by the life and legacy of Earl with the E. Jones and David Green without an E. Yeah, you know that one too. I have given myself and my finances to help bring this community together, and I encourage others to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Mr. LeBlanc, your remarks, please.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to everyone, to the Duncanville Chamber, and to the Rotary for putting on this event, and for all of you for coming out and taking time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us tonight. I am Patrick LeBlanc, and I am seeking re-election to your position of Councilman at Large for the City of Duncanville. My wife and I moved to Duncanville in 2008 after I received an appointment, a call, to be the Associate Pastor of Duncanville's First Baptist Church. That along with being elected or asked to be the chairman of the Duncanville football team was one of the most rewarding parts of my ministry career. For 7 seasons, I had the pleasure to build phenomenal relationships with many of the coaches, parents, students, and the supporters of the Duncanville ISD football team. I'm a native of Grambling, Louisiana, where I attended Grambling State University. I have a bachelor's degree from Dallas Baptist University, a master's degree from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and a master's degree from Dallas Theological Seminary. I'm married to my lovely wife, Wanda. We have 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls, and 4 adorable grandsons. We are currently empty nesters, thank the Lord. We are active members of the Concord Baptist Church. I believe strongly in community and civic involvement. So my involvement includes not only your current City Councilman at Large, 2017 to present, but also serve with the All-Pro Dads, Duncanville chapter at Smith Elementary, Duncanville's Multicultural Commission's chairman from 2011 to 2014, chaplain of the football team from 2008 to 2015. Currently, I'm on the Duncanville ISD Career and Technology Education Committee, Southern Dallas Youth, a Young Life Committee member, and I also am co-founder of the Southern Dallas Alliance of Mental Health Professionals, a board member for Grant Halliburton Foundation, and an adjunct professor at Southern Bible Institute and College. I'm seeking re-election to Duncanville City Councilman at Large because I remain passionate about our community. I care about those that live, learn, play, and yes, work here in our city. 2017 marked my first political venture, and there is no manual that comes with being a city councilman. I believe that as your councilman at large, I've been a servant and a voice for all the citizens. I thank you for your support as I'm seeking re-election as councilman at large here in Duncanville.
Mr. Harvey, would you please come and draw the first question? First question is, what is your understanding of the council, city manager, form of government?
There are some people that are unhappy with my stance about how the city council in Duncanville should work. How it should work is as follows. We as council members designate the playing field. We provide the uniforms and the other resources. And we provide the leadership. And that's what we do. And when we get involved in the day-to-day operations at any level, we are making a mistake. And when we make mistakes, we have to admit them, not pass the buck, deal with them, and move on. That's basically what happened. Thank you.
Could you read the question?
Absolutely. What is your understanding of the city council manager, council form of government?
Well, I think, first of all, it should be all about collaboration. But the city council are the ones that hire and fire the city manager. But even with that being said, there should be collaboration between the two. The city council, I believe, is there to supply direction, form the citizens that have elected us, and give that to the city manager. The city manager is in charge of the staff and people that have been hired to do certain things, different tasks within the city. But when it all boils down to, I think it has to be a collaborative group. Someone said earlier, that has to be some give and some take, some bending on both sides. But when it's all said and done, it must be what's best for the whole city of Duncanville.
Thank you, Mr. LeBlanc, please choose the second question. Pardon me? Oh, pardon me. Yes, offer rebuttal. The school board offered none, so I was moving on.
That's all right. This won't take long. I agree with everything that was just said. It's just want everyone to remember we have a thing called the council rules of procedure, which guide our behavior. We don't get up there and go all willy-nilly. We have standards that we follow. And so it's important that we as leaders demonstrate that we can follow standards. And if we do that, we can expect others to do the same. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. LeBlanc, draw the second question. Question number 2. Do you think the comprehensive plan that has been adopted by the city will ensure that Duncanville will optimize its potential? Why or why not?
Well, of course I do, because I voted for the comprehensive plan, and I think that it will. There are so many aspects of it that will, I think, will enhance our city, move our city forward a little bit. The challenge that I think a lot of people have, including myself, is just being patient and letting those things evolve. I've learned over the years that these 2 years that city government moves at a much slower pace than a lot of people, including just the typical citizens, are aware of. But I think with patience and the things that we have planned, the developments that are there with the different areas of the comprehensive plans, absolutely. I think it will move our city to the forefront and be one of the best in the best Southwest.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Harvey, can I reread the question?
Thank you. The comprehensive plan is a plan that was put together that envisions the city city of Duncanville for the next 20 to 25 years. And so, in order to make that vision a reality, it's going to take a commitment. The plan has been cast. The next step is underway currently, and that is developing a comprehensive zoning ordinance. And one of the things in the plan is that the plan designates 10 areas in the city, basically Cedar Ridge, Camp Wisdom, Highway 67, I-20, Daniel Dale Road. All of those areas have been designated as opportunity zones, and the key word here is going to be really redevelopment, and I agree, patience, which is why I'm telling people, if elected, I want to commit the next 10 years of my life to making this plan a reality, because it's going to take staying power and it's going to take commitment. Time? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Y'all got to speak up. I can't hear you.
All right. Mr. Harvey, would you please come and call the next question? This will be question number 3.
So I see.
Question number 3. What is your vision and ideas for redeveloping commercial property in Duncanville?
Why didn't you ask mine that question? Mine? He left? Oh, hey, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm an accountant. I will say, one of the things that I picked up from listening to mine, which I agree with, is that the key thing about redevelopment is that it has to be a smaller footprint. And it has to be something that is homegrown and not big box. Because big boxes have a shelf life. And if you don't believe me, go ask Wheatland over there by Charlton Hospital. They didn't get their 10 years worth. That's what it's going to take, a smaller footprint. A smaller footprint means each and every square foot will yield more taxable value than what's there now. And anything else beyond that, you got to talk to mine. Thank you.
What is your vision and ideas for redeveloping commercial property in Duncanville?
Well, my vision, and I guess ideas at the same time, is that they need to be aesthetically improved. Some of them have been vacant for years. I know since my wife and I have been in Duncanville, and there has been concern of just how they appear on the outside. There's nothing really to attract anybody to come to occupy or think about putting a business there. So my vision is for us to get with the commercial owner, the people that own it, and ask them to do some renovations to the buildings aesthetically that will make them more attractive for small business. I do agree with my opponent about we don't need a big box, but for small businesses to come in and to occupy those open spaces.
Thank you. Mr. LeBlanc, would you please offer your closing statement?
I'm seeking re-election to be your councilman at large for a few reasons. One is I remain passionate about the city. A lot of people misunderstand passion for maybe being angry, and that's because a lot of times people have not taken the time to get to to know who that person is or who he is, not only as a city councilman, but who he is as a person. I love collaborating with people. I'm passionate about people. And I think I have a lot of things to offer to our city. As I said earlier, there's no manual that comes with being a city councilman. So you really have to learn on your own. And I've made mistakes, and I definitely can admit that. But I think those mistakes have resulted in being evaluated unfairly. But I'm passionate. I believe that we have some great things in store. Throughout my current term, I've made many connections with a lot of residents and have on multiple occasions even got out and worked with city staff to ensure that the citizens' needs were addressed. I'm a lifetime learner. I continue to have the ability to effectively partner and collaborate with others in the pursuit of one common goal. My name is Patrick LeBlanc, and I'm seeking re-election for your city councilman at large.
Mr. Harvey, will you please share your closing statement?
Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank the Chamber, the Rotarians, and all involved in this event. Good government is knocking. Can you get the door, please? My opponent admitted to mistakes without providing any specifics. May I please fill in the blank? Over the past 2 years, let me just repeat things I read. Over the past 2 years, we've had sanitary sewer overflows, hostile work environment, rental registration, government overreach. These are not my words, this is what I've read. I want to say that this is not what good government looks like. I'm sorry. This is what good government looks like. Additional police protection, fun-safe community events, more bike lanes and trails, low water bills, firm and fair code enforcement. These are the things that I want to focus on as a council member. Good government never goes out of style, but over the past few years, good government has seemed to fall out of favor. That's the truth as I see it. So good government is knocking, and I just want you to know that it's time to trade up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Well, thank you, candidates for school board and city council. Thank you for offering your services to our community in those capacities. Thank you to the citizens for responding to this event and coming here tonight. I hope you really found it enjoyable and very informative. These kinds of presentations are a perfect setting to let all of us get to know the people who are leaders of our community. Thank you all. This concludes this event. The building will stay open for about another half hour and give you the opportunity to visit with the candidates. Thank you all for